Director of the Davies Homeless Shelter, and today I'm here at the shelter, which is our men's program located at 132 East 18th Street. The Davies Shelters have been in Rome since 2003, providing housing to our unsheltered neighbors, and we wanted to walk you through our program. COVID has created a different year for us, so a lot of volunteers have not been able to come through and see our space. So come join us and see about what our program looks like. So we hope when guests come to the Davies Shelter that they feel welcomed. We work very diligently to make sure that we treat everyone as an individual, that everyone is treated as if they have sacred worth. Everyone is met with welcome community, and we believe everyone is on a restorative journey. So welcome into our building and see what we're up to here. When our guests come in the afternoons and in the evenings, on typical days, this is the space they are welcomed back into. Our staff greets them at the door, finds out how their day has been. But when you're in a pandemic, we are sheltering in place at this point. And so we've been doing that since March of this year. So a lot of our work has changed over into work inside the building, so our guests can be safe and well inside rather than being out in the community the same ways. So one of the things we have set up here is a space for our guests with a camera so that they can do recovery work, so they can do substance misuse work, and so they can apply for jobs, do education. And this has been a real gift to our guests to be able to continue working on case plans, continuing to move forward while they're living in the building with us. We've created a really hospitable space with reading material and a coffee pot so folks can come in and make a warm cup of coffee. Right now we're decorated for the holidays, which has been fun to do with the guests and with the community here. So let me show you to our office and show you and talk about a little bit about what we do in that space. All of our guests are working on a case plan. We have two different ways that our guests are working on that. They're either on a 90-day stay or they're on a 6-month stay with the Returning Citizen program. In both instances, they are working with a dedicated case manager. That's Alex Callahan, and he helps them and guides them through the steps towards self-sufficiency. So that can mean finding employment, that can mean finding documentation that might have been misplaced. It can be working on solving debt issues and credit issues so that they can move into housing, finding housing. And that happens here in this office on a daily basis. And our guests work weekly to see how they're meeting those milestones, and then if there are places that they need assistance, then Alex jumps in and helps them with those needs around the work. One of the things we have posted here, and I'd like to just make a pitch for this, is we have our meal calendar, and you can see that there are a number of dates that are available on our meal calendar. Due to COVID, a lot of people have not been able to come into the shelter like I mentioned earlier, and so we do have our meal calendar, and you can call us and drop a meal at the back door, and we'll come out and receive it from your car so that there's a no contact donation that way. You can also donate the ingredients for a meal, or you can donate $60 a month, or a meal is what it costs us to prepare for the shelter. And that can be done on our website, which is www.daviesshelter.com. And there's a donation button. You can make a one-time donation, or you could make a reoccurring donation, and that will help us provide a meal for our guests. We are constantly trying to reframe food insecurity, and so we try to feed wholesome and nutrient-rich meals here at the shelter. We've got a relationship with Berry College and with the gardening and anthropology program, and we have an 18-bed garden over on the 19th Street side, as well as a 2-acre farm. And we'll be going out to see those spaces later this week, and I hope you'll come back and see what we've got going on in those spaces with our farmer, Tim. So I'm going to walk you into our dining room so you can see what that space looks like where our guests eat meals. So our dining room is set up family style, so all of our guests can sit around the table and feel like a meal is shared. Food is often so much better if you've shared time around the table. We have a kitchen back here that is set up for those who might need accessibility, so our guests will often help do dishes and things like that, and the sinks are lower and affords those who might be in a wheelchair or have other disabilities, they can help in some of the life of the shelter. We do have a number of relationships with other organizations in the community, and we always say that we're good at connecting the dots with other organizations. So a number of our guests are connected with Elevation House, Highland Rivers, Living Proof Recovery, Salvation Army, Goodwill, Hospitality House. We partner and help other folks, Community Kitchen, do the work they're doing as well, so that it assists them and it assists our guests. We have a space out here that probably is one of my most favorite spaces. It is a little blustery today, but we have room for our guests to be outside. And one of the partnerships we do have is with the Boy Scouts here in town, and we've had Eagle Scouts do projects around the property. And one of the projects that just happened a couple of Saturdays ago is our fire ring, and this has been wonderful space for our guests to be out around enjoying a fire in these colder evenings. So if you're inclined to drop off firewood or s'mores kits, I know our guests would love that. That's been a fun thing for them to be able to do. I would like to say that we are also so grateful for those relationships with volunteers who have maintained relationship with us this year. So WindShape at Berry College has continued to provide meals, again with a socially distanced drop-off at our back door. We've had Gate of Opportunity scholars who've come and worked on the property. We have our Bonner scholars that regularly are in the space and staying well and practicing COVID-safe policies while being here. So it's constant. The work that's being done is shared. Shorter University, their women's soccer team has come and done some work. We've got a regularly occurring donation from one of the sororities at Shorter University, and we're grateful for them. There are other churches and other community organizations that partner alongside of us. If you are interested in working with us, we encourage you to go to our website. Again, that's www.daviesshelter.com, and find out what we're about and come join us in this work. Thanks so much.